Hey guys, I wanted to make this video because I was watching the Bengals and Ravens game. And at first, when I learned the Ravens were starting a third string quarterback, I was thinking, okay, the Bengals could get a lead by halftime. Then they could rest their starters. They could put Burrow on the bench. They could put Chase, Higgins, Boyd on the bench. And I don't know if you could actually put all three of those guys on the bench, receivers on the bench. But you get what I'm saying. Get a lead, then rest your starters. That Ravens defense, they played smash mouth football. I mean, they were so impressive. And I'm sitting there. That game was in doubt in the fourth quarter. Now you have the Ravens. They have key offensive starters out. They have one of the best tight ends in football. Him or Kelsey are the best. Mark Andrews is sitting out of the game. Dobbins, their best running back, is sitting out. They have a third string quarterback. And that game is in doubt midway in the fourth quarter. And I'm thinking, what's going to happen when the Ravens actually start these players? I mean, if the Ravens would have played those players today, they would have won that game. That's how good the Ravens defense was playing. I tell you what, I guess I would just chalk it up to a bad matchup, which is something the Bengals would have to live with because the Bengals had to play the Ravens this Sunday. But I mean, last year Joe Burrow he torched the Ravens twice. Now Lamar Jackson was hurt in one of those games. So I guess the Bengals got the ball more than they normally would have. The Ravens had short drives, which gave Burrow more opportunities. But still, I mean, the Ravens were very impressive, and Harbaugh's game plan. I think it might have. I mean, he probably should be kicking himself because they had a chance to really win that game. And if they would have won that game, they would have become the number 5 seed, and they would get to play Jacksonville right now. So, they're going to end up coming back to Cincinnati, and I tell you what, the Ravens defense themselves can hold the Bengals offense and just make the game that ugly and that just unimpressive for the Bengals. I'm not just worried about Lamar. I'm thinking about Huntley. I mean, how much better would the Ravens be with Huntley? So that when a game that you win doesn't feel like a win. That's how I feel about the Bengals and the Ravens. But the Bengals are king of the North 2 years in a row. But it really won't feel like the Bengals are king of the North if the Ravens come into the Bengals Stadium and beat them in the game that matters most, the playoff game. But out of all the football teams right now, and I know it's commonly said, I gotta say that probably the Chargers are the team that I fear the most. Now, I think the Chiefs are the best team. I think the Niners are probably the second best team. Bengals, maybe fourth, fifth, maybe in that area. But this Baltimore team, their defense is for real. I mean, I tell you, there were stats that, some people, I read some stats where the Buffalo defense was actually technically better than the Ravens. That Buffalo defense was not better than what I saw this Sunday. That Ravens defense was incredible. And props to Baltimore. And Baltimore, guys, I know you guys feel like you got bummed out. You got bummed out of a chance to beat the Bengals, but you guys really did get a fair shake at winning AFC North. Because the Bengals and the Bills, I mean, that game was close. And the Bengals were actually favored to win at the time of Hamlin's injury. So basically the NFL said, fine, we understand that we understand the situation. So Ravens, if you beat the Bengals, we're going to simulate the game with a coin flip. So you guys didn't get cheated. You guys had it right, and you chose to rest your starters. I mean, your offensive starters, your offensive key players. And really, if you would have, started them, I think you probably would have won on Sunday. But then you probably would have got the home game, though, because you would have moved up to the 5th seed, and the Bengals would still be the 3rd. So you would be going to Jacksonville, which actually probably would be an easier game playing Jacksonville than coming back to Cincinnati. But I don't know. It's really tough to beat the same team twice, 2 weeks in a row. Anyway, guys, God bless you. Take care.